AFTV rounding it up here with all the fans. We love what we saw today. I got this man here. He's come all the way. Where's he come from?
Philadelphia. That's right.
Yeah. He told me to hurry up because his wife. Where's his wife?
Wife's standing right here.
Wife's over there in the background, right? And he said that she'll hit me over the head with a saucepan if I don't hurry up and interview him. No, I'm only joking. But listen, it was great today, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to stay all positive. I want to give compliments to the back four. Zinchenko came back, did his job, played in that inverted role very well. Kivior, what can I say? Hasn't played in a few games and stepped in like it was his job, like he's been there all season. And, Saliba and Benny Blanco continue to do what they do. And, goalkeeper situation's tricky. I want Ramsdale to get a few more games, but I can't complain. Raya's been excellent, and especially this game, but not much to do, but he's holding strong. So a lot of people so far today have been saying, we won, but it's a game. We have to beat who's in front of us, and we got the 3 points. An impressive 3 points, and that's what matters. So, hey, that's all we can ask for.
And then Eddie Nketiah today. I mean, what an unbelievable hat-trick.
Haaland boy, can't ask for more from him. All three different types of goals. People say he is only a fox in the box. I don't think that's it anymore. Does he fit Arteta's architecture and plan? Not perfectly, but he's proving that he can adapt, and that's what matters at this point in his season, in his career too.
Okay, listen, thanks. Hurry up and go.
Thank you very much.
She's looking at me again. You know what I mean? Right? Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah, he's in the room. Watch out, defenders. And I'm Diamond Geezer Dave. That last geezer was from Philadelphia, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm from Hackney, so I'm dead local. And what I love is that Nketiah is fairly local, and what was great was confidence. He's getting game time, hat-trick. What I also loved about the day, clean sheet at home. What I was worried about before the game started was I thought, they're going to come down, 2 banks of 5.
Well, that's exactly what they did.
Right? And they're going to rely on set pieces and breakaways. And if we don't score after half an hour, it's going to get really edgy. But we were patient.
Yep.
We didn't do a Fulham or nothing like that. So, fantastic. And what the other guys were saying earlier, I would play a weakened side against West Ham. The reason being, we have got Newcastle away, then we got a really massive game against Sevilla the Tuesday after. So, the games are mounting up. Play a slightly weakened side. I mean, I'm not being funny, the Carabao Cup. Does it really matter in the bigger scheme of things? I don't think it does. I've been following Arsenal since the 80s, right?
And you should know.
And right, we've never won the big one, the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is the Champions League.
Let me get you in there. Come around. Don't go away, yeah?
No.
Right? You're not having that, are you? You wouldn't rest people for the Carabao Cup then. You go strong. How strong would you go?
I mean, if you look at last season, right, we kind of, we didn't take the Carabao Cup seriously. We went in against, I think it was Brighton, played a weakened side, and then we went straight out of it. Come the end of the season, people were saying, we need to focus on the league, all of that, that's the priority. But, we didn't win the league, and because we were out of the Carabao Cup, we didn't win any trophy. So, the chances of winning the league, look, I want to go for it, but, it's not going to be easy. So if we come out at the end of the season, we haven't won the league, we haven't won the Champions League, I want something to show for that. And a trophy like the Carabao Cup, that's better than nothing. So I don't think we want to kind of go out with it early at this stage.
Will you be at the end of the season to be saying, and all we won was the Carabao Cup?
No, I'm very much of the belief that trophies are a must for an elite club, right? I was saying last season, I thought United, by the standards of an elite club, they had a better season than us because they came in the top 4 like we did, but they had a trophy as well to show for that. So, at the end of the day, I think trophies are a must for an elite club, and we've got to take trophies like the Carabao Cup seriously.
Yeah, that's a good point, but we've got some really, in my opinion, we've got much bigger games. So I wouldn't be surprised if Arteta does play quite a weakened side. I certainly think he's going to put Ramsdale in, which I think will be good.
He better.
Because I'll be going I'll be going down the Seven Sisters Road and sort of banging on people's doors, getting well upset. I just think we're growing into the season well. Last season we started all guns blazing. Remember, the league is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Love that. All right, let me get you back in again because I want to ask you about Eddie. Right, so come around. Sorry, thanks for your opinion. Right, Eddie, hat trick today, but he still gets stick. Why?
Yeah. I mean, look, I can't lie. I've often been critical of Eddie in the past because I feel like when he's out the side for a while, he'll come back in, he'll score a load of goals for a few games, and then it kind of peters out, you know what I mean? Like earlier in the season, he came in at first and he scored against Forest, he scored against Fulham, and then his form went down a bit, it declined. But, and I was saying that today.
He ain't starting, is he?
Well, no, he started against United this season. He started against Spurs. He started against Everton after he scored all those goals, and he didn't get those goals. Okay, so I was saying that today in the stadium. I said, what I want from Eddie is consistency. I want him to keep that form that he has at the start of those runs going. And a guy in front of me, he turned around and he said, shush. Actually, he's got a hat trick today, and give him his flowers. And I thought, what, fair enough. Yeah, now is not the time to criticise Eddie today. He's got his hat trick. Man of the match performance, and big up to him. I'm going to big him up. I thought some of his movement today, it reminded me of Ian Wright, especially for that first goal, the way he kind of spun the defender, perfect touch, boom, in the goal. I thought that his movement today, that reminded me of a kind of Ian Wright-like striker. So yeah, look, you say he's not good enough. If
we want to win the league, we can't rely on Eddie for 38 games. If Jesus gets injured, people say last year Eddie filled in. He filled in for like 2-3 games. After United,
he filled in for a few months.
But after United game, you see he didn't score.
Hold on. He filled in. He filled in for a few months. Yeah. When Jesus came back, where were we in the league?
No, that's not the point. Eddie scored.
That is the point. It is the point. We didn't fall off, did we?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Where were we in the league?
Because of Trossard.
Where were we in the league?
First.
He's got a good point.
Yeah, but Trossard was playing through the middle. That's why we are top of the league. And suddenly, when Jesus came...
Not for the majority of that time.
Robbie, if we go back to that time, right, he came in, he scored against West Ham, he scored against Man U, scored that brace, and then after that he didn't score another goal before the end of the season. And it kind of petered out, and then we took him out the side, we put Trossard in there instead, and that was when we were at our most fluent. And this is what I'm saying, he comes in, and there's a player in there, okay, because he does score for the first few games, but then that kind of peters out.
He just said he's not good enough.
What he's got to do is continue.
You remember the Man City game at home last season? He missed 2 open headers. That was a 6-pointer game. If he had 6 more points last season, we would have won the league. So we can't rely on him now.
Eddie's fault.
I mean, I'm just saying we can't rely on him on big games for a consistent basis. Yeah, he'll score against Burnley, Sheffield, but
he scored in big games.
Eddie Nketiah is not going to win us titles.
Exactly.
He's not going to win us titles.
That's what I'm saying.
We need Ivan Toney. It comes down to who would you rather have, Toney
How many titles has he won?
It doesn't matter. Toney in an Arsenal squad does better than Nketiah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Sure.
100%.
Why?
Because look at the way Ivan Toney can play and look at the way Nketiah plays.
Yeah, but we don't know.
Nketiah goes missing in games. A lot of games Nketiah goes missing. He's not very good. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad. With Ivan Toney, he can do it week in, week out, I think. With Arsenal, 100%. Look at the experience he's got as well.
So you're going to give him his flowers for today, though?
No, I'll give him his flowers 100% for today, but this is Sheffield United we're talking about. This ain't Man City.
You're giving him weeds. You're not giving him flowers. Flowers, man.
He's lucky to get anything.
Flowers.
He's lucky to get anything from me.
So you're one of them haters, isn't it? You're normally hating on him.
I'm not a hater, but I'm saying Ivan
not a hater,
Ivan
but
Toney's better than Nketiah, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
One more point.
Do you not agree with that?
So would you despite say all right, let me give you a scenario. Say Eddie from now till January really hit a rich vein of forms, really banging in the goals, being consistent like you said, not just a hat-trick today but being consistent. Would you still get Ivan Toney, or would you say no, we'll stick with Eddie then until the end of the season?
I'd still get Ivan Toney.
Still
get Ivan Toney.
What about you? Where are you on Eddie Nketiah?
I think it's pretty 50-50, to be honest. I mean, I think he's got a lot more to prove still. He scored a hat-trick today and he's played brilliantly well, but I think he's got to do that consistently. I do agree that do Arsenal win the league with Eddie Nketiah up front? I don't think they do. I think you need an Osimhen, somebody similar to Haaland, that level of quality. But is he an Arsenal player? I think he could be a substitute player, but I don't
think anybody's saying that listen, if Jesus is fit, he don't start. For me anyway. Jesus is the number one striker. Jesus for me is on another level. But as a striker, when he comes in, he doesn't really let the team down. I think sometimes he's judged very harshly.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. I mean, he's we've had capable substitutes in the past, and he could be a capable substitute for us. Similar to Trossard, Martinelli and Saka are your wide players. Trossard can do a real job. He did today. He ran at players, and that's what I love about him. He actually runs at people, and we don't have enough players at times to do that. in attacking those flanks. So
Here's another one. So thank you. Here's another hater, right? He's normally.
Come on. I'm a realist. I'm a realist. Come on, Robbie, I'm a realist.
Great hat trick today, though.
Listen, Eddie Nketiah, no one can criticise him for today. How? He scored a hat trick. He gets the match ball. Let's give him his
Great
flowers.
hat trick.
Yeah.
Great hat trick. Weren't just all those people like you probably coming to say, oh yeah, it's free tap-ins, Robbie.
Bobby.
You know what I mean? They can't even say that today.
Robbie,
you can't say that today, can you?
The first goal, the technique he showed to control the ball first time. And
Even the second goal was decent.
Second goal, yeah, he hit it first time. The first and the third goal
Arrowed in.
was very impressive. The third goal, well, one of the goals of maybe the goal of the month. Let's be real. But let's be real. If Eddie Nketiah wants to prove people wrong, it's now time for him to start thinking to himself, right, I'm going to get these opportunities here while Jesus is away, injured. I'm going to need to take risks. And with him, he doesn't take enough risks. Basically, he's not showing, he hasn't shown me.
I disagree.
He hasn't shown me enough desire and enough hunger to score goals.
No.
When he's
you can't question his desire.
His desire
You can't question
based on
his
his
desire.
work rate. That's the bare minimum. His work rate is the bare minimum for any striker, yeah? The main
No, you just said desire.
desire.
His desire's up there.
Desire
his
based on
commitment's
what?
up there.
Based on what? Running around, just closing the defenders down, putting ball pressure on them. Yeah, any striker could do that. That's the bare minimum. But what I want to see for him, yeah, is that hunger and that determination to get in the box, inside the 18, take the risk, score goals. Like, there's times where he's had a number of opportunities in one game. Let's say 3-4 opportunities. He can miss them all. Another striker, doesn't have to be Haaland, it could be another striker who goes up the other end, does sweet FA in 90 minutes and scores a goal.
Haaland.
It could be,
Or
I'm not
Haaland.
saying Haaland, any striker, but again,
How much did he cost, Haaland? the one at United, how much did he cost?
about 60 mil.
How many goals has he scored this season?
It's irrelevant. I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about it.
That's
Let's be real,
again.
Robbie. I'll give him his flowers.
They play Sheffield United.
Yeah, and he struggled. But
I'll give him his flowers.
I'm giving him his flowers for today.
All right, let me ask one. All right, we get my man in.
You know, for Eddie Nketiah, let's just bring the stats on. He scored 5 goals in 31 games. That's not good enough. If we want,
No, but no. This is where I get upset sometimes with these stats. He doesn't start every game. That's a very unfair stat. If he was starting those games, fair enough. That I'd look at that and think that's really bad. But how many of them games does he start? I want come to me and say to me, right, and then out of that 31 games, he played 10 minutes in that one, 20 in that, half an hour. Yeah, I mean, you can't really run that stat on him. What I know is that most times when I see that guy come into the team, he brings energy. He brings something.
Yeah.
He
brings energy. He brings energy, but he's not good enough if you want to win the league. But today, I agree with you. We have to big him up because he knocked Sheffield United out, like Francis Ngannou is gonna knock Tyson Fury out. You know. So let's big him up. Let's big him up for today.
I don't think so. Somehow.
What I'm just saying is, if we
I'd rather put my money on Eddie.
if we want to win the league, he's not good enough.
Okay.
Robbie, what more can Eddie do? He scored 3 goals. Give the man a break. Like, Jesus misses a lot more chances than Eddie does. But when we haven't 150 million to spend to go out and get the Napoli striker, Osman. And Tony's still going to cost us like nearly 60. But the point is,
more.
Eddie has scored 3 goals today and people are still criticising him. What more can a guy do?
Yeah.
And to be fair, when he brings someone as a sub, it's usually like with 10 minutes to go and 20 minutes, expecting him to be the super sub, but he brings energy into the team. And like Reece Nelson, he brings energy. And why is Reece Nelson not given more of a chance?
Okay, let me ask you, Eddie.
I have a funny relationship with Eddie because I've been to Arsenal games twice so far in my lifetime. And in those 2 games, he scored 5 goals. So from my scene life, Eddie is the best striker in the world, basically. But yeah, I feel like people treat him a little bit harsh sometimes. Although I do agree that he has that problem with consistency. When he comes into the team, he can score goals, but it's that he can do like can he score in 4 or 5 games in a row, or like every other games for like 2 or 3 months. that's questionable. If he can do that, I mean, he can. I definitely think that he can help us win the league and maybe go even far in the Champions League as well. So, I mean, people do treat him harsh for me, but I mean, there is also that second argument that he isn't really that consistent. He can work on that. If he does work on that, sky's the limit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that like this is my first ever game I got there. So yeah, it's a hat trick. Like I think it's really good. The best backup striker like in the league, and I don't get why people doubt him that much. Like yeah, he's been inconsistent. He hasn't started that much, and I think that yeah. But like he's still young. Like isn't he? 24, 23. Like I think he gets a lot of criticism, and I think it's give him the confidence like against the games like to the mid-table clubs and lower end. I think he can. I think it's great. I think it's brilliant.
Okay.
But yeah.
Final word with this man here, right, Cecil? Right, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Today, don't want to run his parade too much. Got a hat trick, brilliant hat trick by the way, done very well. For me as a fan, if you want me to be honest, and we're going to go back to this, he's wearing obviously the number 14 top, right? The big 14 top. For me, no, but listen. For me, great. Well done for say, but 14, Thierry Henry's number. Don't need to go into too much, but to be a backup striker and wear that number 14, he needs to look at it and think, you know what? And I'm not going to take away that he works hard, but I listen to Thierry Henry. I listened to every word he says, and he was saying, when I was there, Bergkamp was the number one. I breathed better than him, worked better than him, earlier than him, did everything better than him. He's got to keep fighting, Eddie, to be that number one. He's done well today, but for me, he's a backup. He stepped in.
Yeah. These are the steps, though, isn't it? These are the steps you take to say. I mean, what he's got to look to say to himself, right? When Jesus comes back, maybe you don't get back in because I've played so well.
That's what we want to see, Robbie. Do I believe he can continue to do that? Right now, I don't know. When it comes to Newcastle, he's earned his right to start in those sort of big games. He steps in for Jesus so well, but I need to see more. Most of the fan base are asking for a striker in January. That says something. Like, unfortunately, that says something. As much as he's done so well today, and I don't want him to watch this and think anything, because as a player, I understand he's done all he can do. People are going to say it's Sheffield United, but that's his opportunity he took, and he took it very well. But people want a striker in January. There's a reason behind it. Big up, obviously, I'm getting tired of Jesus' injuries. I'd love to keep all three of them if we do get a striker. But for his own career, he's going to want to look to move on if he's third choice. But listen, big up for today. But, this is the butt to it.
Hey,
I'll give him his flowers, not his weeds. I like that. That was a good one.
No, but listen, big up to Eddie for today. Great performance by him. Big up to all the fans there. Listen, all he's got to do is keep doing what he was doing today. And trust me, we won't even need to go and get another striker. You keep doing that every week, we don't need another striker. But obviously you can't do that every week. But today, great performance by Eddie Nketiah.